we've taken the seeds out of the refrigerator. We have the cold stratified. Remember, we were using the tuberosa, which is the butterfly milkweed, as seen here. And we also have the incarnata, which is the swamp milkweed, as seen here. Today what we're going to do is take the seeds that have been cold stratified and also those that have been non-stratified. We're going to take them and we're going to plant them. So to begin with, you take your potting mix, and it's pretty simple. We have a potting tray here. You want to just take your dirt. A lot of you have probably done this before. If not, all I'm doing is I'm spreading the dirt into the individual trays that's going to hold the seeds. You want to get a nice even distribution of dirt. This dirt does have perlite mixed in with it. That helps hold the moisture, and it also gives the roots something to provide a little aeration once the roots begin to grow. So basically you can see this is our finished seed tray. And next thing I'll do, a real easy way to plant a seed. Where seeds need to be about 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep. I'll just use my finger. I go through and I just pop a little hole in each one, which is, there's one that's missing a little dirt. And I'll put this hole in there. And after you put the hole in, we'll come back and drop the seed in. And after we drop the seed in, come back and we'll put another little fine layer of dirt on top of it so that it gets that 1/4 to 1/2 inch of topsoil on top of it, and we'll water it in, which is what we'll do now. Okay, so now we'll take the seed, and again we're doing the tuberosa butterfly. We have 18 of those seeds, if you remember from when we stratified them. I'll take them out of the pouch. And remove them from their wet bed, which is right here. You can see there they are. And again, I'll just start the process. We'll pick one up one at a time, and we'll put them into the hole. So we have all the seeds planted now. I'm going to take a very thin layer of dirt, cover the top of the seeds that we planted. Again, we're just looking for about 1/2 inch at the most, maybe 3/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4, but just a little bit of dirt to cover it. I'll go through now and I'll pack it down. And then brush off the finished dirt. Have a label that we've already pre-made. Put the label in. You always want to label your product when you grow it, because it's hard to remember sometimes. Folks will move things around and you can't remember what it was. So this has been labeled. And then we'll give it a little bit of water. We'll now transfer these seeds over to the greenhouse table where they'll be grown. Okay, so as we said, our next step is we're going to again prepare a seed bed, as we're going to be doing the butterfly milkweed, but this is the non-stratified seeds. We'll take the seeds and we'll pour them out so we can see what. And then I'll prepare, like we did before, prepare the seed tray. Again, putting a grower's mix type of a potting soil or grower's mix soil into these seed trays. You'll see little white specks in here. That's perlite. That helps with moisture retention. It also helps with aeration. A lot of folks will also use vermiculite. Vermiculite is another good soil amendment if you can find it. So we've now prepared our seed tray. Have dirt. And remember, we want to plant these seeds roughly 1/2 inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch deep. Use your finger. Just gently poke that hole. Create a location for your seeds. Soil should be nice and loose when you pump your finger in there. If it's tight, you put too much dirt in there and pack it in. You don't want to pack the dirt in when you're filling it. You just want to fill it very lightly. After you plant the seeds, and you will put a cover on top of it, cover layer of dirt on top of it. Then we'll come back and we'll tamp it down when we water it. Okay, so we finished planting the seeds of the butterfly milkweed. By the way, if you get 2 seeds in a hole, don't sweat it. If they both germinate, you can come up and you can always separate them later when they come out. But right now, I'm going in and put that little fine layer of dirt on top of the seeds as we talked about. That'll give them about a 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch of cover. Then you want to come back with your fingers and tamp it down. I know the camera operator is zeroing in on that so you can see how I'm doing it. You just want to tamp down real lightly. Again, like we did in the last planting, you always want to label what you're doing in case things get messed up, somebody moves it around. I've made the label. And one thing I always do on my labels, I date the date that I did it. That way when you come in a few weeks later and you go, hey, nothing's happening, you know the date that you put these in the ground, and you can kind of gauge how long you should keep them around until something's not going to germinate. Sometimes these seeds will germinate at different rates, so I'll usually pull out the ones that have germinated, wait a couple more weeks to see if there's any stragglers coming along, and then we'll pull those out and then we finish our count. So last step, again, give them a real light drink of water. And then we will move this tray right next to the other tray of the other seeds that we planted. Okay, well, we're 2 months after we planted them, approximately, and what you see in front of you are the seeds that have sprouted. Very interesting results. The tuberosa butterfly milkweed, none of them sprouted. Whether they were stratified or non-stratified, nothing came up. So you'd have to ask yourself after 2 months, should they have been stratified longer? Or maybe it was a bad batch of seed, but they were planted right next to the swamp milkweed. Same conditions, same soil, same watering technique, so the only variable there was the seed. On the incarnata, which is the swamp, very interesting results. The stratified seed, 30%, 20 of them germinated, but on the non-stratified, 60% of them germinated. So we had a higher germination rate with the non-stratified incarnata swamp milkweed as opposed to the stratified milkweed. So anyway, that concludes our demonstration.